Number 1. The Dictator's Lavish Breakfast. Kim Jong Un starts his day with a cup of coffee brewed right at his residence from the world's rarest and most expensive beans, imported directly from Brazil through exclusive agreements. Every year, North Korea has to spend from several $100,000 to nearly $1 million just to bring this type of coffee into the country, while most of its citizens don't have enough basic nutrients. The price of a pound of coffee that Kim uses is even higher than the annual income of many workers. These coffee shipments had to go through multiple transit points to avoid international scrutiny. After drinking coffee, Kim entered a lavish breakfast with exquisite Parma cold cuts, Japanese Wagyu beef, and Kobe steak, dishes that cost from $200 to $500 per pound. He often eats rare meat, just the way his ancestors preferred it. Kenji Fujimoto, a sushi chef who once served the Kim family, said the father and son would often sit in front of world-class cuts of meat, while most of the country's population lived on rice and soybean paste. In addition, their dining table also features rich Toro sushi, Swiss mental cheese imported from Switzerland, and many other rare specialties. Expensive meals combined with a sedentary lifestyle caused Kim's weight to exceed 300 pounds. Beside red meat, he also loves high-value seafood like lobster and Caspian caviar, even though these items are on the United Nations import ban list. However, supplies continue to be smuggled into North Korea through organized smuggling routes, costing millions of dollars each year, and are believed to be operated by security agencies to serve the senior leadership. Kim also frequently consumes shark fin soup, a highly controversial dish due to its negative impact on the marine environment and the risk of driving many shark species to extinction. Marine conservation organizations have repeatedly criticized the fact that a head of state continues to consume this dish. All those extravagant habits take place against the backdrop of the majority of North Koreans having very meager rations, reflecting the deep disparity between power and living standards in the country. Number 2. 2,000 people serving for one joy. Now we move on to what is perhaps the most chilling part of Kim Jong Un's daily routine, his infamous secret entertainment group. This group is said to have around 2,000 carefully selected women whose task was to serve at private parties for leaders and the elite through singing, dancing, massage, and other forms of intimate entertainment. Some reports have previously mentioned that many members were selected at a very young age and had to leave their families in silence without receiving a clear explanation. Despite often appearing in public as a loving family man, Kim Jong Un still spends enormous sums of money to maintain this entertainment troupe. In 2016, he was reportedly said to have spent nearly $4 million on luxury items exclusively for the group. Members must undergo a rigorous health screening process and meet near-perfect physical appearance standards to remain. The selection process for this entertainment team is notoriously strict and also extremely concerning. Young women were evaluated based on their appearance, artistic talent, and willingness to serve senior leaders. They received intensive training in performance, massage skills, and various other services to meet the needs of Kim and his close officials. Some defectors have stated that the training took place in an environment of absolute surveillance and that all members had to adhere to strict discipline. This entertainment team is one of the largest expenses in Kim's lavish lifestyle, costing millions of dollars each year, while the North Korean people still face difficulties in meeting basic needs. The disparity between the resources allocated to Kim's personal entertainment and social services for the people clearly demonstrates the government's disproportionate priorities. Many experts believe this is a typical example of national resources being used for personal gain instead of improving people's lives. Number 3. The million-dollar luxury of a leader. Kim Jong Un's fondness for luxury cars was formed during his time living in Switzerland, where he was directly exposed to the sophisticated standards of the European automotive industry. His car collection currently includes many of the most expensive and prestigious models in the world. Western intelligence estimates their value exceeds 0 million, and the actual figure could be even higher because many are not officially registered to avoid external tracking. While Kim owns supercars, the majority of North Koreans rely on bicycles, walking, or outdated public transportation. The centerpiece of the collection is the approximately million Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard. This is not just a luxury vehicle, but also a mobile fortress with reinforced steel plating, an explosion-proof floor, and bulletproof glass. The 5.5L VE12 supercharged engine with 517 horsepower allows Kim to leave the scene immediately if necessary, and some vehicles are even equipped with an air filtration system to protect against chemical attacks. The Pullman has been Kim's primary vehicle since 2011, including his trip to the US-North Korea summit in Singapore. Kim also owns a Maybach 62s as a backup option with similar levels of protection. By February 2019, he reappeared in Pyongyang in an armored Mercedes Maybach 600, described by state media as a symbol of modern power. His collection also includes the Rolls-Royce Phantom used to receive U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in 2018. Not only that, North Korea also imported Audi R8 and A8 models from the early 2010s, around the time Kim began appearing in international intelligence reports. His car's design clearly shows the influence of his European education, particularly his fondness for German engineering. Maintaining these models is extremely expensive because of the special components, premium fuel, and the team of technicians that must be brought in from abroad. Even changing tires or routine maintenance can cost the equivalent of a North Korean family's income for several years. Kim's luxury car collection not only demonstrates power, but also exposes the extravagance and the deep disparity between the ruling class and the majority of the population. Number 4. Ultimate luxury, the $1 million fleet. If Kim Jong Un's land-based hobbies surprised many, his activities at sea demonstrated an even higher level of ostentation. Kim's collection of personal yachts is considered one of the most luxurious expenses in his entire lifestyle. These ships are no different in class from the yachts of Hollywood stars or tech billionaires. The centerpiece among them is the 95-foot Princess 95, valued at $7 million. Princess 95, part of the LVMH group, renowned for its luxury products, is fully equipped with advanced marine technology and luxurious interiors. The ship boasts space and amenities that far exceed five-star hotel standards. The layout includes a captain's tea table, 3 spacious decks, a premium dining area for 10 guests, a luxurious living room, and 4 large bedrooms with private bathrooms. The Princess 95 can accommodate 8 guests in maximum comfort, while the crew area and service spaces are optimally arranged to ensure smooth operation. Some sources even claim the yacht has been modified to enhance security with anti-eavesdropping systems and small meeting rooms for sensitive discussions. However, Kim didn't stop at just one yacht. Satellite imagery shows the presence of a 30-meter yacht anchored right next to his private residence, along with numerous jet skis and a 60-meter recreational vessel. The total value of this fleet could exceed $20 million and continue to increase with additional investments. Some experts believe Kim uses these ships as secret meeting locations beyond the reach of land-based surveillance systems. Operating such a large fleet requires a significant amount of money. Luxury yachts require skilled crew, high-quality fuel, continuous maintenance, and dedicated berths. The Princess 95 alone can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars each year for basic maintenance. These enormous expenditures become even more unbelievable when considering the fact that the majority of North Koreans have never seen the sea, let alone experienced yachting or water-based entertainment. Number 5. A wardrobe as precious as gold. Kim Jong Un's attention to his appearance goes far beyond ordinary vanity. His wardrobe consisted only of bespoke suits and jackets, each costing thousands of dollars, and imported from European fashion houses. Kim's familiar style is dark suits paired with ties or Mao-style jackets. However, no North Korean citizen is allowed to have the same hairstyle as him. The state even produced television programs instructing people on how to cut their hair according to socialist standards. There are a total of 28 government-approved hairstyles, including 18 for women and 10 for men. The irony is that none of the styles on the list resemble Kim's iconic hairstyle because he wanted to be the only person in the country allowed to have that style. His hairstyle requires professional stylists and high-end products to keep the sides closely shaved and the hair on top longer, giving the illusion of added height. To maintain this signature hairstyle, Kim has to regularly use services from imported salons. No barber in the country dared to try recreating this hairstyle, so his personal accessories became a significant expense. According to The Telegraph, Kim's watch collection is worth over $8.2 million. While his people lacked even basic mechanical watches and even a stable power supply to run them, Kim rarely appeared in public without wearing a luxury watch. An accessory he often carries is the binoculars Kim brings with him on most inspection trips. Although this seems logical for a military command role, the binoculars themselves are high-end optical equipment worth thousands of dollars. Even his simplest accessories reflect expenditures far exceeding the annual income of the majority of North Koreans. Number 6. The ruler's private entertainment sanctuary. Every evening, Kim Jong Un often leaves his busy schedule to return to his private movie theater, a modern entertainment complex that can accommodate hundreds of people. The theater is equipped with state-of-the-art projection and sound systems on par with international standards. Building and maintaining the theater's operations cost millions of dollars. Here, Kim organizes film screenings with diverse content including Hollywood blockbusters, Disney animated films, the James Bond spy series, action films, and even Korean dramas, which are completely banned for North Korean citizens. This creates a striking irony. People can be imprisoned just for watching a foreign film, while the leaders enjoy all the latest content in a luxurious setting. Some films were even smuggled in through secret commercial routes to avoid attention. This theater is also used as a propaganda venue, where Kim screens missile test videos and military achievements for the domestic elite. In August 2023, he hosted a grand ceremony for Navy Day and invited hundreds of officers to watch a test firing of a nuclear missile while they enjoyed premium drinks. Evenings often conclude with karaoke performances. Kim usually starts with self-praising songs before an 18-member all-female band performs songs written specifically for him. Some defecting witnesses say the band had to practice to extremely strict standards to fully meet Kim's musical preferences. The entire operation of the private entertainment complex generates significant and ongoing expenses. This cost is said to be equivalent to the cultural budgets of many provinces across the country. Number 7. When propaganda becomes a budget black hole. To maintain his lavish lifestyle, Kim Jong Un relies on a large-scale propaganda apparatus that consumes vast financial resources and plays a central role in persuading the population to revere him as a superhuman figure. This is one of the essential expenditures that helps ensure his absolute power. From a young age, North Koreans are exposed to propaganda education, leading them to believe that Kim possesses abilities beyond human capacity. State media constantly broadcasts content depicting him as exceptionally intelligent and completing unrealistic tasks. Producing thousands of hours of television, radio, and print media requires a large amount of personnel, equipment, and facilities that operate continuously. The goal of this system is to maintain the illusion that Kim is untouchable. They created an environment of fear, leading many to believe that even a single negative thought could result in punishment. Some defectors have admitted that they once believed Kim didn't need to eat or sleep because propaganda had permeated so deeply. That fear made them accept Kim's unlimited spending while the people lived in scarcity. Approximately 25% of the national budget is allocated to the military. Another 30% is used for Kim's personal lifestyle and an extensive security network, meaning over half the budget is used to serve a single individual. This disparity becomes even more striking when Kim enjoys $500 coffee or travels in million-dollar cars, while the majority of the population lives on limited rations and lacks access to healthcare and education. Heavy drinking, smoking, and irregular sleep habits forced the ruling apparatus to increase control. All of this leads to a dangerous spiral with ever-increasing costs. In Kim's list of expenses, the most staggering are the $30 million per year spent on alcohol, a car collection worth $100 million, and an entertainment team of 2,000 members. This is clear evidence of the severe level of inequality when power is concentrated in a single person. Number 8. Inside Kim's flawless security system. No area of Kim Jong-un's life consumes a larger budget than his personal security system. The choice of bodyguards shows Kim's sensitivity about his appearance, as they all had to be under 5 feet 5 inches, so he would always stand out when appearing in public. These bodyguards not only meet the physical requirements, but also undergo years of training in combat skills, weapon use, surveillance detection, and handling emergency medical situations. They also have to participate in psychological training to maintain absolute focus, making the cost of maintaining this force a regular and very large expense. The security system surrounding the mansion in Pyongyang is far more complex than the security detail around Kim. The mansion is surrounded by high walls, multiple layers of checkpoints, surveillance cameras, motion sensors, and underground tunnels, including direct passages to secret locations that allowed Kim to leave the area undetected. Operating this entire structure costs millions of dollars each year. Information security is also a significant expense. Kim uses an encrypted communication system based on dedicated equipment and a team of highly skilled technicians to ensure that eavesdropping or data theft is prevented. Security while traveling continues to be an extremely costly factor. Kim uses 3 identical planes on each trip to mislead potential threats. Operating 3 presidential aircraft requires specialized fuel, maintenance, and personnel. Flight schedules are often changed at the last minute, keeping the crew on constant alert. Road security is implemented using decoy convoys because many similar vehicles will depart simultaneously to conceal the real vehicle carrying Kim. This strategy makes his daily travel costs many times higher than those of other heads of state. Number 9. When childhood is nurtured by power and isolation. Kim Jong Un's childhood took place in a family that lived in secrecy and was obsessed with security. He hardly experienced a normal childhood like other children. When he was young, Kim was called the Little General. He held a real gun, and generals bowed to him. His father, Kim Jong Un, severely limited his son's exposure to the outside world. All of Kim's activities are recorded and reported to superiors, then stored in the family's top-secret document archive. Being isolated from her peers, Kim only had adult bodyguards to play with. Only a few bodyguards who had previously been in contact with Kim were able to successfully defect. Growing up among people who always showed absolute obedience instilled in him strong self-confidence and a tough character, but at the same time diminished his understanding of the lives of ordinary people. As he matured, Kim expanded his control by establishing an elite unit to oversee everything related to him, from food to rice sacks, all of which had to be tested before meals to avoid the risk of poisoning. During trips, the entourage always carries a portable toilet, monitors drinking water, handkerchiefs, and seating to protect Kim's biological traces. Kim's personality is influenced by a strictly controlled childhood combined with her time living in Europe. The contrast in the management environment created a highly cautious leader who still wanted to project a modern and powerful image to the world. Number 10. The Underground Kingdom Protecting the Leader with Hidden Geography. To understand Kim Jong Un, one needs to look at the unique environment in which he grew up. Beneath the rugged terrain of North Korea lies a network of underground tunnels built by their ancestors to serve as living spaces and safe shelters for families. This is a secret system that exists parallel to everyday life, including tunnels, subway lines, and underground passages, all designed to conceal the Kim family's activities from overhead surveillance. Many security experts believe the security level of this system is comparable to underground facilities during the Cold War and is even more sophisticated. One of the most important areas is the Kangdong complex, which has long been associated with the Kim family. When he was young, Kim Jong Un spent most of his time in this area. Beneath the surface is an entrance leading down to a deep tunnel, which connects directly to the subway line under the Taedong River. Thanks to this line, he can travel entirely underground without using the bridge above. It is estimated that North Korea may possess around 8,000 tunnels, some of which are nearly 300 meters deep and extend over 30 miles, including a backup line running to China in case of an emergency. Kim Jong Un could work in the office, then enter the elevator leading down to the underground level, and then get into the waiting motorcade to leave without leaving a trace. Some defense reports state that many tunnels are equipped with ventilation systems and their own power sources, allowing for survival for weeks at a time. This very underworld nurtured Kim Jong Un when he was young. The isolated environment shaped his character, reinforcing the secretive thinking and obsession with security that he carried throughout his life. Growing up completely isolated from normal life is also seen by many analysts as a reason why he developed a different view of power and believed that absolute control was necessary for survival. Number 11. The luxurious Western life of Kim, a teenager in the Golden Age. As a teenager, Kim Jong Un lived with his aunt and uncle and attended a public school in Barron. An old friend once recalled that Kim often appeared in American-style sportswear, wearing a Chicago Bulls jersey, Michael Jordan shoes, and had a deep love for basketball. He always played with determination, wanting to win every match and displaying agility that surprised many compared to his image today. Some classmates even said that Kim often brought Western sports magazines and enjoyed watching NBA games recorded on video. In conversations during his school years, Kim Jong Un often said that North Korea was a developed nation and would become a major power in the future. That shows his strong pride in his homeland. Some of Kim's former teachers say he tended to observe how Western societies functioned and was curious about the freedom his classmates experienced in their daily lives. One teacher even recounted that Kim showed interest in seeing his friends being able to choose their own subjects or join clubs, which was very different from the education system he had known before. Many analysts believe that Kim Jong-un's experience of living in Europe has strongly influenced his desire to build a more modern image of North Korea. However, they also believe that these experiences forced him to grapple with the dilemma of wanting to demonstrate a spirit of reform, while also needing to maintain the absolute control apparatus that is the foundation of the Kim family's power. Number 12. The escape story that haunted Kim's shadow for life. During his teenage years, Kim Jong-un lived in Europe and enjoyed a truly luxurious life befitting a member of a powerful family. He came to Paris to watch NBA games, ski at top resorts in Switzerland, and experience amenities that North Korean teenagers could never have imagined. However, at that time, his mother was seriously ill with cancer. The risk of her not surviving carries with it the possibility that her aunt and uncle, who care for Kim, could also lose their place in the family. Fearing their future was threatened, they decided to flee. One night, they quietly left the house, went to the U.S. Embassy to seek asylum, and were then transferred to a military base in Germany, completely disappearing from public view. Kim Jong-un was unable to see them one last time, creating a deep psychological shock. The CIA interrogated the couple, gave them new identities, and brought them to the United States, where they lived discreetly for 20 years. An investigative journalist later identified them. The aunt looks very similar to Kim's mother, making a strong impression upon first meeting. In conversations, they described young Kim as a normal child, but sometimes eccentric and misunderstood. They are still concerned for their safety, limiting contact with neighbors and changing their daily routines to avoid being followed. Kim Jong-un ended his studies in Europe at the age of 17 after his family recalled him to North Korea. Less than a decade later, he became the leader of North Korea, heading one of the world's most authoritarian regimes. His experience of living freely in the West and then returning to take over a strict control system is considered an important factor in shaping his contradictory leadership style, being both highly vigilant and wanting to demonstrate power and a modern image to the international community. Number 13. Kim's return to Pyongyang and the hope for change. When Kim Jong-un came to power, North Korea was expected to change due to the years he spent living in a free environment in the West. In the initial phase, Kim declared that the people would no longer have to endure prolonged shortages. To consolidate his power in the long term, he needs to demonstrate a difference from his father and prove that North Korea can develop. As the first person in the family to study abroad, the influence of Switzerland is evident in his efforts to open and modernize the country. Many scholars believe that his experience in Europe helped him understand the importance of national image on the international stage, leading to a series of performative reform decisions. In 2012, Kim oversaw the construction of a modern ski resort near Pyongyang, followed by a Western-style entertainment center. One of the first foreign visitors described this ski resort as a miniature version of Switzerland right within a country that is almost absent from the tourism map. This phase made many people believe that North Korea had a chance to change. Diplomats believe that these projects both give the impression that people have access to modern life and demonstrate the ability to build infrastructure to international standards. Some experts even argue that many buildings are designed to serve propaganda filming, creating a modern image without changing the external reality. Kim continued to build amusement parks, luxury dining areas, and shopping centers to create a vision of a prosperous North Korea. This is a strategy aimed at shaping the country's image as it approaches the standards of wealthy nations. However, many analysts point out that these constructions primarily serve the elite in Pyongyang, while the majority of people in other regions remain largely unchanged. Number 14. Kim Jong Un and the impasse of dictatorship. Kim Jong Un currently holds absolute power in North Korea, a position he took over at a very young age. At just 36 years old, he was already leading one of the largest military forces in Asia and managing the rapidly developing nuclear weapons program. He was born into a family that has ruled the country with strict control for over 7 decades, creating an environment where every citizen is taught to be unconditionally loyal to the Kim dynasty. His path was shaped by 2 completely opposite choices, a path that pulls him back to the model of governance his father and grandfather had applied for decades. The remaining path requires him to prove he can become a modern standard leader, capable of bringing North Korea into the new century. This is the biggest test for Kim Jong Un. Some observers believe that North Korea's younger generation, who expect openness and change, are putting increasing pressure on him. Within himself, a key question always exists. Can he transform himself into a softer, more approachable leadership figure, or will he maintain a closed power system based on the continuous control of multiple generations? This decision will shape the course of the entire Kim dynasty. Some experts even warn that any reform steps could trigger a strong reaction from the power groups behind, fearing the loss of their own interests. Kim Jong Un is the 3rd successor in the family to hold the highest position. His father and grandfather were once propagandized as demigods, always depicted as infallible and capable of overcoming any challenge. After more than 10 years in power, Kim entered a decisive phase. He had to choose between opening up to seek international recognition, risking the loss of absolute control, or continuing the old path, keeping North Korea one of the most isolated countries in the world. The changing global landscape, coupled with economic and diplomatic pressures, has made your choices far more complex than those of the previous 2 generations. Number 15. When the First Lady's image became a propaganda weapon. In his journey to build the image of a more modern North Korea, Kim Jong Un received significant support from his wife, Ri Sol-ju, a popular singer and familiar face on television. In 2018, Kim elevated her role from comrade to First Lady, creating a powerful symbol. The appearance of Ri Sol-ju makes Kim's image softer and is reminiscent of Kate Middleton's role in England. Many observers believe Pyongyang wants to cultivate an image of a close-knit family leadership, similar to how the West builds royal and government models. Ri Sol-ju's fashion style is meticulously chosen to project modernity and sophistication to the international media. However, bringing North Korea into the digital age is a major challenge. Kim needs to balance maintaining power with creating a sense of connection for the younger generation. He expanded internet access within limited boundaries and increased the number of domestic mobile phones. Currently, there are millions of subscribers, indicating that North Korean society is undergoing subtle changes. Some experts believe that the internal network system is being expanded to create a private digital environment for citizens without allowing access to the global internet. Simultaneously, North Korea is developing a generation of well-trained social media stars. They appear in videos describing the country as a socialist fairy tale kingdom with bright and optimistic imagery. These young people are trained in on-camera speaking skills and storytelling to make a strong impression on viewers. Many videos were filmed using modern equipment in simulated model city areas for propaganda purposes. Opening up information always comes with risks. If the people knew the reality of the outside world, decades of propaganda could be broken down and threaten the foundation of control. Experts warn that even the domestic digital culture is closely monitored. This could be the beginning of unpredictable social unrest. A young generation that is curious and has access to information could drive change faster than the government anticipates, posing a significant challenge to Kim Jong Un's future hold on power.